business with me? Have you business with me?
Hello and welcome back to another video. Man, what a time to be alive as an Aion fan. There's a lot happening. You have just watched a trailer for another change that is coming for Aion NA, so NC West. So there's a new server that is opening on the 19th. I'm going to get to that in a few seconds. And other than that, there is more stuff coming for EU. Hopefully soonish we can make a video about that and, you know, tell you everything about that. So there's a lot happening next month in Aion EU as well. Also, there is the 1.2 server from China that you probably see me playing every now and then on my stream. And yeah, finally on the 8th next week, totally forgot, there was also the live stream for Aion 2, where we're gonna get in-game footage and we're gonna get them to play, like they're gonna be playing Fire Temple, and they're gonna show us way more stuff than they have shown us so far for Aion. So exciting. There's so much coming currently, so much happening. And building on that, there is the Ascend server that is coming on the 19th to NC West, Aion NA. And I thought maybe I should probably give a better insight what exactly that means, what exactly is happening, what does the Wind server, or in that case the Ascend server, mean. So you have just seen the trailer, and over here you can see it is the purple launcher that you need. Like most regions that are connected with NCSoft are now using the purple launcher, so that is actually quite good news. It also means that NA is much easier, much more accessible for every single one of you out there to access, rather than Korea and China. So this is actually definitely good news. And I mean, right now most of us are waiting either for November for the release in Korea, the ones that are going to be playing there, or for summer next year for the global release of Aion 2. So let's find something to pass the time. And what else would we do than play like a sandbox version of Aion? So this is the Ascend server, which is coming on the 19th. What exactly is that? So first of all, you go to the website. I'm going to put everything in the description, as always, in the comments. Yeah, so it's a server that was built few months ago, or I would even say like a year ago. It came out in Korea. And I am actually logged in Korea on the same server, so I'm going to be not only talking about it, but after we cover the website of NA, I'm going to also show you in-game what exactly that means. So for now, let's go back to the website. So what exactly is happening? So first of all, go to the website right now. If you're planning to play it, if you're not planning to play it, doesn't matter. Go to the website and pre-register. Why? Simple as that. Because when you pre-register, you get like a coupon that you can use later on, and that includes 1 million kina for the player, an egg, This is like consumer bundle. 3 random enchantment stones between 105 and 115 and 10 selectable mana stones. Okay, so that you should be doing regardless what is going on. Just because, like, just listen to me and I'm going to tell you why this server is such an amazing idea and why it's a good, you know, like a good idea for at least few months, and depending on how it goes, then maybe for a longer time of period. So let's continue. So this is a server that, you know, with the trailer you have seen already. So let's just continue the economy. And that is the most important selling point of the server. So the economy is based completely on kina, which I'm gonna show you, which means that any item you see on here and any consumables, any item you need in the game, you can acquire easily from an NPC with kina. The prices are not too extreme. The prices are quite okay, I would say. On an active server or on a lively server, it is definitely something that is doable. And yeah, it brings off a different style of experience. It brings a really wholesome Aion with you know, because flying is everywhere possible. That is another thing that is quite amazing. I think they have that over here as well. So okay, they might not have that, but that's fine. I thought they have that written here. So anyways, but the flying is definitely a thing, because you can fly everywhere. You can wear every single gear in the game. That is another thing, which means that you can, as a sorcerer, for example, you can wear plate, or as a, you know, as a cleric, you can wear, I don't know, like leather or cloth or whatever. So it's completely open, as you saw also in the video, that is a possibility. And the rates are extremely high. So dungeon rewards are ×2. Mana stones socketing rate is increased ×3. Leveling speed, the leveling speed is quite fast, it's ×4. And over here you can see assault skills and dragon lord skills. So this is something that, and this is something I should have probably said or mentioned at the beginning, that the version I'm going to show you is from Korea. They're already a patch after the Wind server patch. So I think the Wind server came out with the initial patch 3.8, 4.0 in between, something like that. And then they have improved and adjusted and so on. And now this is the 4.5 version with the new class, the gunner class. But as far as I am aware, we are going to be getting on this server at least, we're going to be getting the 4.2 version. So there should be a lot of changes, a lot of stuff. Class-wise, we should have everything up until the Luminous class, which is, you know, the one class prior to the current class, which is the gunner just came out recently. So we should probably not have the gunner, but we will have all the other changes, including the changes to the gladiator, as you saw over here already. So this is also included. So the gladiator is already worked on, and then, you know, the assassin is going to be worked on, and there's more gonna come later on. But again, you know, just keep that information, everything I'm telling you, keep that in mind, that my information is purely mostly coming from Korea. So as long as we don't see it on the website, if I say something that is, you know, maybe not accurate, keep that with a grain of salt, that it might just be a change in Korea and it might not be happening on NA. But yeah, let me go back. So kina is the main currency. With kina, you can buy everything. You have the possibility to acquire kuna, and you can make items tradable and then trade them with kuna in-game, but you can also trade kuna with kina and kina with kuna, so that stays. But there won't be any broker to trade with each other. There won't be any crafting, because people can buy all the scrolls, and there won't be anything else related, you know, trading or whatever that you are used to for Aion. So it's basically more like a refreshed version of Aion with flying everywhere. The question is, if it just has such a more depth to the environment, the world, and the infrastructure of the game. If you know, you will start playing it, and if you are a fan like me, you will be lost in the game quite fast, and you will be spending hours in the game, because the dynamic changes a lot when you're really capable of flying everywhere. Trust me on that. So another cool feature that is coming with it is the new version of Tiamat's Eye. Yes, Tiamat's Eye, one of the most amazing places to do PvP, will also be included. And it has various changes. I'm not going to go too deep in the changes just yet, because again, I have no idea how much it's going to be different from the Korean version. But what I can tell you already, and what you can see already here, is that all those items are acquirable through the Tiamat's Eye. So the way it works in Korea, at least, is you can also open the boxes that we are used to from back in OG Aion, but you can also just come and grind mobs and kill certain mobs, and you get like a special kind of currency, and with that currency you can acquire boxes with those items, and you can even level up the boxes to get like a better reward and so on. And I think they have like 3 stages or something. So this is something which is in Korea. Again, I have no idea if that's going to come to NA as well, but indicating what I'm seeing currently, it seems like it's also going to be a thing, which already sounds amazing. So gearing, plussing, having end gear should be quite easy and quite fast, so you are able to do that PvP that we all love so much, and or PvE, depending on whatever you do, and it will feel definitely more beneficial, because as you can see, the loot is increased twice, so even the dungeons will be really rewarding. About these skills, as I mentioned before, in Korea you could also buy them through an NPC. But for NA, I have no idea yet, because you can in Korea also just literally buy them from the shop. So that's why, again, like from Lucky Shops, item chest thingies. But again, I have no idea if that's the case for an NA, because I've not really tested it yet. But it is something which you should definitely look into. If you are an Aion fan, I strongly suggest you to at least try this once. And if you are not an Aion fan, but you're just looking into Aion because of Aion 2, this is the best door that is currently available for you to step into the Aion world, to step into Atreya and just see what the flip is going on. Why this game, since 2008, is so popular and still people love it to death, and why there are so many versions and what is going on. This is like one of the best ways to kind of experience it. Okay, so what else is coming? Tiamaranta raids. So there are going to be 2 raids, as you can see over here. So there's one raid which is a new raid, so a Hexat raid guide. Again, I'm going to have that website linked, so you can just go through it and read it. It's going to happen in Tiamaranta, in the middle, in the bottom. Anybody who been in Tiamaranta knows that you can just fly down to the bottom, and this is like one of the biggest raids, and it's a lot of fun because the area is just really nice to PvP with, and even if there's nothing happening, this is going to be like a main hub of PvP zone, so you're definitely going to be having fun in that zone over here. And then there's this other one, which is I'm going to show you now, which is basically the fortresses, and just before the raid starts, there are going to be like some gates on your ship, so you enter the gates and then you go to each of the bosses to fight them, and you acquire your rewards. The server or the version is highly rewarding. You always are going to be getting amazing stuff. So there is also like a daily quest where you can acquire on your ship. So for the Ilios side on left side, for the Asmodean sides on the right side, and those quests lure you to different locations, and then you have to kill certain things, like different things, and the rewards are usually selectable boxes, and depending on which way you focus on more, so it could include gear or consumables or other items, but it can also just give you kina back, because again, as I mentioned, kina is gonna be the main source for everything. So acquiring that kina from those daily quests or weekly quests is probably one of the best ways to go, but that's completely up to you what your preference are. Yeah, so there's also a limited offer kind of thing going on, where you just need to play the game actively. I mean, again, you can read everything and you would be able to acquire or collect more rewards or more items that are going to be kind of a necessity later on during the game. So now hop on to the actual server. So again, this is, I want to mention this again, this is Aion Korea, but it's the Win server. So, and it is also one version after the version that we are supposed to be getting. So we're supposed to be getting 4.2. and this is 4.5. So there may be differences, but the core features are probably going to be the same. So the way it works is you level up, and while leveling up, you know, as always, you will be able to fly everywhere. So what that means is basically on the whole map except Sanctum, you can basically just open your wings and you can fly. Like, just look at this beautiful, amazing map. It just gives you a different feel. If you do that even while questing, it just, you know, feels quite energetic and quite amazing. And like a lot of times what I would do is I would be doing a quest, and then I had like I had to fly over a mountain or a different place. I would just click on the mountain, I would go AFK, you know, grab something to drink or go to the bathroom quickly, and then I would come back and I would see still my character flying. There is also, sadly, we don't have that right now here. It's on the lower maps. There's going to be loot boxes in the air. Those give you like scrolls, fly scrolls and crit scrolls and running scrolls and whatnot. There's like in those boxes, it can be anything. There can also be really rare items, but mostly you get scrolls. So it's always good to just fly up and get that. And now notice on the top right of my screen, the flying. Maybe you notice something. So yeah, my flight time is being used, but it resets. It's keep resetting. So I can literally be in the air forever, and I can just go AFK right like that. So that is also another feature, that you can not only fly everywhere, you can also have unlimited flying. Yeah, so that is really amazing. And the next feature that this game has, I mean, I mentioned the kina quite a lot today. So let's see what exactly we can do with kina. So we can come to those NPCs over here, for example, this guy, and we can, for example, buy for 50,600, we can buy one of these boxes, which includes random die, including the white and the black. And here you can see the percentage. So it's actually not that bad that you could acquire that, but you can also go with basic materials that you actually need. I'm going to come back to this one, to be honest. So let's check out here. So this is the PvE gear for that. So here you can see PvE, over there is PvP, so the Admiral gear and everything. So if I play actively this game, I would be able to, in like a week or two, I would be able to kind of gear up my character quite easily, or, you know, and quite fast. And not even just the weapons I can, you know, get. I can also just go ahead and I can also acquire the gear pieces, as you can see from here. So I can click on that and I can have basically the different gear. So the way it works is, this is, for example, our items. If I DE the item again, then I acquire those items, and with this one I can use again to recraft you know, materials which I can use later. But this is like, I don't want to go too deep into that one because I don't know if we are getting that part of it. But the main point, what we are definitely getting, is with kina you are able to acquire all the gear pieces. And then now we also need the necessity of Aion, the bread and butter, as one always calls it, the enchantment stones. And yes, you are able to acquire the enchantment stones. So technically, if you would have the kina, you could come here, you could right click and say, yeah, give me, you know, for for that amount, give me 1,000 boxes of 111s and 120s. So technically that is a possibility. So the price is actually not that bad. So you have 61 to 70 cost 165,000, and the big ones cost between 2 million for each, which is way better than most of the regions currently selling those, at least those ones, for like 10 to 20 million each. So this is definitely a way better pricing. You can also acquire like the higher ones, the 101 stones and 110 stones, and over here you even have the 120 stones at the top. So again, the way it works, you can just click on it. So this box actually includes every single time 120 stone and about 10 111 to 120. So this is like a special box for 20 million, or you go for 16 million, you acquire 3 110 stones and 10 of those. So yeah, it's good value. It's like good like calculation. I think in the end of the day, it's kind of positive to just, you can also just acquire each stone by itself, and then you can easily you know, plus your gear to plus 15 in a timely manner and have everything maxed out for PvE or for PvP. You also are able to acquire mana stones. So we have here the level 60 mana stones, level 50 mana stones, and the level 40 mana stone bags. So the 60 ones is all selectable. You can select the mana stone you want. So you could technically, now let's just see how much one would cost, like in thousands. So 1,000 mana stones would cost 330 million. So if you're active again for 2-3 weeks, you are kind of able to get that quite easily. And again, you can socket your gear. But not only mana stones and enchantment stones, you also have the possibility over here that you can get in god stones. For 1.6 million, you can get a god stone, or for 11 million, a blue one. So let's check out the god stone, the green ones. It is, so just for your understanding, if there is a percentage on the right side, that means that the box is random. If there is an amount, that means it's selectable. Okay, so of course they also have the rare ones, the paralyzed, the silence, and the blind, or other ones, whatever you need. And the percentage is actually not that bad. It's like 2.5%, and they even have the new root one, you know, which is like I think that's the airbind or whatever, that is the new one. And yeah, so this is actually quite interesting. But they also come with that the blue ones, and then over here you have the percentage a bit lower. But then I mean, it is understandable because those godstones are a little bit more broken, I would say, compared to the other ones. So definitely understandable, the price range. And it is going to be something to do in the end afterwards. So anyways, I guess that is for now totally fine. Now we have this, you know, and this is probably because, I mean, they have to monetize the game somehow. So there is a possibility to buy the wrapping sheets over here, which lets you make an item tradable. So the OG players know exactly what I'm talking about. So you could get that, and then you can go to the Kuna shop and you can basically just, you know, sell your plus items or socketed items, whatever, for Kuna to other players, and then other players can acquire that. You can use that Kuna then again to acquire kina, which is like, that's 20 million each time, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million. So on this server, at least, you can get a 20 million pack for 2,990. So for 2,990, you can get 20 million kina, and then you can go on. So it also prevents, you know, all that RMT stuff a little bit, because the structure of the game basically kind of carries the game without even having to go crazy on RMT or whatever. And then the next items that we have here are actually, let me just go through quickly to the PvP one, and then I show you the more amazing part. So this is the PvP items. As you can see, you can kind of check out what it is, or what items they have, and so on. So basically they have it all here as well. And then over there, and that is kind of interesting, I guess, it starts over here, is this guy. That guy I also really am interested in, because that guy has the more core information that you need. So you have the stigma shards over here, and you know, the power shards. Then you have the kisks over here, and you have more the enchantment stones, the same ones, and the mana stones, the same ones. And then you have here the god stones again. Yeah, okay, so you have more items as well available, like over here, as I said earlier, you know, the wrapping thingies. But then you also have here potions, which is the reason why the crafting is just not needed at all. And let me actually turn down the sound, because this is a little bit when I'm speaking. So anyways, yeah, so you can get all those potions over here. You can simply just come here, and the price is not that bad actually. Like 100 stack of greater healing potions, for example, cost you 14,300, which, you know, compared to if you would buy them on your server currently, you would at least pay 500k to 1 million, depending on what current, you know, how inflation you know, your server is. But yeah, there are fixed prices. That's why crafting is not needed at all. And then you have like more options here, the higher potions, the higher, you know, jellies over here, and also even the abyss potions you can acquire quite easily. But not only potions, also buff food. They have beverages and buff food, everything up until the gold, even the dragon stuff. So if you come here, down here, you have the beverages and everything, even the highest one over here, which is, you know, the price wise kind of okay. But also scrolls like elemental scrolls, crit and magical crit, and those ones over here. And then of course you also have the running speed scrolls, the attack speed scrolls, cast speed scrolls, and the flight scrolls you can get quite easily. And that is from early on, from level 1, all that stuff. So technically, well, not level 1, but yeah, technically you can just go ahead and acquire the items quite easily if you have the kina, of course. Over here you can also see all the necessity items for classes. You can acquire them quite easily as well. And you have that one, and you have even those items over here with the revival stones, and even the revival stones where you can revive somebody from your party. You have the artifact activation stone. You have this thing that you can see people and hide, and you also have here the freaking what's it again, siege weapons, exactly. So yeah, it is quite an interesting method. It is quite amazing. Like same goes with the skill books and the stigmas and all that. So you can just come here and you can acquire anything for your class or from your class, even the late abyss ones. So if I go here to the last one, I can see the blue ones and the golden ones. I can acquire that everything for kina as well. Now I have been talking about kina a lot. Now the question is, where do you actually freaking get kina? And that is a good question. Let's come back to this guy, which I said I'm going to speak about him a little bit later. So this guy is going to let you trade abyss points with kina. So you can come here and you can use your abyss points, and you can get kina boxes. So for 30,000 abyss points, you can acquire a random box, which the lowest is 600,000 with 30%, or 1 million with 0.5%. So that is definitely an option that you can do, or you can go for the higher ones, which is 300,000. For 300,000, the lowest is 8 million and the highest is 15 million. And since the quest lines and the dailies and weeklies and all of that give you either kina or kind of both kina and relicts, and there are dungeons where you can get relicts. Acquiring you know, those boxes, both of them, is definitely not hard. And then also a lot of quests and dailies and weeklies, they also give you a lot of kina boxes. So kina is, you get like a good healthy amount of it. We need to see how that works out later on the server for us, but for here is definitely an option. So yeah, I would definitely want to check it out if you know, if I were you. So if you are an OG player who is from Aion back in the days, or even Aion Classic was something that you tested, then I would strongly recommend you to go to the website and pre-register, even if you're not planning to play right now. But just pre-registration is a positive thing, because later on when you do decide to play or whatever, you can either give the code to somebody else, I think, or you can just use it for yourself, and there's a high chance that you might end up playing. So there's no harm in pre-registering, for now at least. And the second thing is, since the server is so accessible for everybody around the world, as you don't need like a, you know, in Korea and China and all those places, you need like an ID card and a dedicated phone number and all that stuff. You don't need that over here. So this is literally more accessible like any other region. So I would strongly suggest you, if you have anything to do with Aion, this is definitely something to check out. So you should definitely do that. And if you're a new player, this is a great way to dive into Atreya and kind of see what's going on, what's happening, what exactly is Aion, or was Aion 1, before you indulge into Aion 2 later in November in Korea, or next year when you know, it comes out. So this is a perfect opportunity for you till November, or even till next year, to, you know, kind of have something fun to play, something improved, something with a better infrastructure, something with definitely will have a positive feeling with it and around it. So yeah, definitely check it out. For now, I'm going to be waiting for the 19th to play that, but till then I'm going to be probably just continuing with 1.2 in China. And if there's more stuff coming, then of course you can check that out on my streams in Twitch. You know, I stream every now and then more actively again, and on my YouTube channel, of course, you will have all the information. So thank you very much for watching. Talk to you guys soon, and yeah, bye.